Hello everyone, and welcome to
It Was Just Banter.
And as always,
it's just a little bit of fun.
Now, first things first, I'd like to thank everyone who gave us feedback from the first episode we did a few weeks ago. Some of you absolutely loved it.
The best day of my life!
Others thought it went on a bit too long.
Come on! When is it going to end, Robbie?
But for me personally, the feedback we valued most was from Richard Keys. Our two managers, Ron Atkinson and Ricky Gervais, popped along to see Richard, and they gave him a preview of the episode, and this was his reaction to it.
But you have to show, surely, don't you, a little bit more banter than there was evident tonight.
Ooh, you're hard.
You may say that. We don't think so, you know, Richard. I'm sorry, you can sit there and look and play with all your silly machines as much as you like. Yeah, if the boys hadn't done enough, I'll whip them. But I ain't whipping them for that tonight.
So whatever happens, it's good to know that Ron's got our backs. So, on with the show. I'm Christopher Nightingale.
I'm Stephen Sargent.
I'm Joe Pickles.
And today we're on about sports. Now, we all love sport, but we've been trying to come up with ways, us three, of making sport a bit more exciting, interesting for the viewer. So we've had some time to go away and think and come up with either new sports or enhancements to existing sports that will make things a bit more interesting for people. So we're going to go around the table and basically discuss our ideas. So Sarji, have you come up with any enhancements or a new sport?
Well, I have come up with an enhancement for the Tour de France. Well,
brilliant. Let's hear it.
A lot of people watch the Tour de France. I personally think it is utterly crap. A lot of people riding around on bicycles through France. So I thought that we have half of the group start at the start, and we have the other half start at the finish, and they have to cycle the opposite way. So you have
brilliant.
Yes, right. You have people starting at the beginning going to Paris, and you've got the people at Paris starting in Paris going to wherever. And when they meet up in the middle, they have like big jousts, and then they just cycle at each other. Right? So then it's like a big mayhem chaos. Or you can have, if you're thinking, oh, it's getting a bit boring this, and Chris Froome's winning, and he's like miles ahead. They pass a field, right, with a load of bulls, and you pretty much do a bull run on bikes then, and have bulls chasing them.
Hold on, wait, so one half starts in Paris.
Yeah.
Where does the other half start from again?
Wherever it starts.
But when you've got 3 weeks and you've got one joust, that's like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it'll sort it out a bit easier, won't it?
It won't be much more fun than normal, right?
Well,
because they'll just be racing along.
No, because you know somewhere.
It'll be like 1 week and a half, finally.
No, you're right, you'll be watching and you're going, oh well, Chris Froome's leading the pack from like Yorkshire to Paris, and you've got Lance Armstrong leading it from Paris to Yorkshire, and then next time on the Tour de France, the two groups meet, and then they've got like jousts and then just smash into each other, and then they have a great big battle.
And what about the bulls? Where's the bulls coming in again?
Or the bulls is a second one where you start them off they just start off normally. They don't start at the end, and they just start off where it starts. You get to France, like on a straight road or something, and you're thinking this is a bit boring and that. You just let a lot of bulls out and just do a bull run halfway through.
That would make it quite interesting.
And have a load of bulls running either towards the cyclists or following them.
Following them better, because towards there's no way out. But if you include a bit of like they can possibly get out of this, it makes it more exciting.
Yeah. But then you can have one running the other way. You could have a road bull running at them. It would just be brilliant.
They have to drive out the way of it.
That was superb. I tell you what, I don't watch the Tour de France, but I would start watching it if you had it.
It's absolutely shocking, the Tour de France.
No, it's great.
Pickles loves the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's great.
How is it great watching a bunch of men in lycra cycling around? Now, if you had that and a bull running at them, I think that's a bit better. Or having a great
and also that would mean you'd also have to think about what colour you wear Because if you're wearing red,
No.
if you decide to wear red while you're cycling,
when it
then
is-
you're in big shit, right?
Right, you've got the mountain sections of it, right? You then have the bull run section where you all have to wear red. All your bikes are red, you're painted red, you're just like a red man.
So it would effectively be the slowest one loses.
Yeah, it would.
Similar
Yeah,
to
it would be a
like-
process of elimination. It'd be pretty good, that.
It's funny that
Yeah, because it'd be like a zombie film.
Yeah. Or you take rules out of it. Well, Mark Cavendish does anyway when he goes beating people off his bike, and you can just have that. But if you're cycling around, right, and you're only allowed to use one violent act during the whole tour.
Right.
So if you use your act straight at the beginning, right, you can push someone off their bike and you can knock everyone else off. So as soon as you've done that, you've
You
lost.
could potentially bring in like Mario Kart rules.
Yeah.
So you give someone a red shell.
yeah, a shell or a cattle prod.
Yes.
Or something. Yeah. Do you remember what is it? It's a really old computer game now
It's the
called
one with-
Road Rash or
It was the
something.
one with the motorbikes, wasn't it?
Yeah, where you could basically get
boom.
crowbars and start whacking people off. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have tasers.
Yes, but you can only use these items once.
Okay.
As soon as you
That's
use
fair.
that item, you are then vulnerable.
Right. Yeah, because then other people can get you back. And
Yeah.
So and then it's a little bit tactical. So you have to pick which moment in the 3-week race to use your weapon. If you use it in the
Yeah.
first minute,
Yeah, yeah.
you're probably not going to make much difference.
No, but
So
or you could have
vital moment.
you could have like jet rockets on your bikes as well for like the uphill section bits.
Or downhill.
Downhill. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can have some seriously good steering for that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's an automatic. Unless you're going to make it into Formula 1 driverless cars,
No.
which have not been existing.
No, you've got to use a rocket a bit on the downhill section, all the twisty things, and if you cock up on a corner, you're going straight on into the ditch, into the valley,
Into a tree.
Or you could potentially.
into the other crowd because it'll be coming at you, or the raging bull.
Now, surely, if you're really tactical, you're going winding down the mountain, and you can see the kind of
That's what I was
road in the distance, and you press it right on the corner, and you fly up. Now, there's a huge risk in this, right? But if you get the judgment right, there's a potential that you might just land on the road.
Corner coming.
But you're talking, you're having a massive plummet, and there's no parachute, so you really are dogging it there.
Well, yeah.
Can we tweet this to the Tour de France organisers?
I'm sure we can tweet it to the Tour de France and Chris Froome. Why not?
That'll make it much more interesting.
It would
So
actually.
instead of the drugs, just say, right, you're allowed a rocket.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the drugs were pretty much doing anyway, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and
Effectively, but
Yeah.
a rocket probably more fun to watch.
Yeah, and if you
Absolutely.
yeah, and if someone is really doing your head in, trying to tyre burn you whilst you're pedalling around, you can just go right. You've got this rocket once, and he's really winding you up. He's been proper tyre burning you, like rubbing his wheel against yours, all the way on this mile-long road, and you just go, I've had enough of you, and just set on your rockets, and he just sets on fire. No more.
Pretty hard to get someone's tyre though while you're going forwards fast.
Well, they're all skillful, aren't they? So
That's very difficult though, without falling off.
they are
So, like,
professional like we're wearing cyclists. So they'll do it, right? They'll manage to do it, and then Mr. Cavendish goes, I've had enough of this shit, and just sets the guy on fire. Because he does like a bit of cheating.
it's more dangerous in Formula 1 these days, you know.
Well, we just made it even worse. We made it one of the most dangerous sports ever now in the world.
probably.
Although we haven't heard the rest of the
No, we haven't heard the rest of the sports yet.
yet.
Tour de Death,
Renamed.
renamed.
It's funny you mentioned jousting because that was the idea I had, which to bring back jousting because jousting, of course, was in the Middle Ages, hugely popular. You know, two horses, men on foot, just ride and just smash each other off. Now, I think they should bring that back. I don't see why they shouldn't bring it back. I mean, they have horse racing; it's effectively the same, but with
And horse racing is not really entertaining
no.
for me.
No, oh yeah, that's boring as well, isn't it? Horse racing.
But there might need to be some changes to the rules. Now, in the old days, of course, only knights of the realm could compete in jousting. Which, I mean, you're going to have to change that because can you imagine giving like a famous person a knighthood? They'd be shitting themselves because you gave them a knighthood and they say, right, now you've got to do jousting. they'd be
No, you could tactically organise it so if you don't like a celebrity,
Yeah.
Give him a knighthood.
Give him a knighthood, and it's like, right, here's your lance on you, right?
In fact, who has knighthoods? Does people
Right,
have
you'd
knighthoods
have,
now?
yeah, you'd have.
Alex Ferguson, does he have a knighthood?
Yeah.
You'd have-
So Fergie, well,
joust.
would
You
he
could
be
have like
for
Rod
it?
Stewart versus Billy Connolly on a jousting
I
thing.
would. Yeah, exactly.
Two jocks going at it.
Who else has a knighthood? Who's a bit wet?
Redgrave.
Wait.
Well, he's a roller, so he's
Doesn't
probably
William Hague have a knighthood?
I don't know if he has or not.
I think it's
Botham.
Oh, okay.
Beefy Botham. He's got one.
Ian Botham, yeah. So Botham on a joust.
Would the horse be able to cope with his fat weight?
I don't know. This is if you keep that rule in. I mean, you could take it out and let anyone compete,
Yeah,
but
but
the
you've
old
got,
rule
like-
is you have to be knights of the realm.
Have
So
they-
king royalty.
Couldn't you
got,
replace the penalty shootout with
no,
joust?
Prince Harry versus Prince William. I mean, that'd be pretty interesting. I mean, but you just
Does what's he called? The jockey have one?
Oh,
Tony McCoy? No,
Yeah,
McCoy?
Tony McCoy.
AP McCoy.
Yeah, does he have one?
He might do.
Well, that's a bit.
He's got an I don't know.
That's an advantage he's got then, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I think you should replace penalty shootouts with jousts.
What about dames? you could have dames on a
That's
horse.
good.
Because could you imagine if like knobheads played against you? I mean, okay, it's you, but
Yeah.
you could say right, the managers have to come in and join in then. So you're going to have one of those knobheads dying.
So bring out the horses, and then they've got to charge them at the pitch in a centre spot to the point of impact. And now usually they wear a lot of armour. Are you saying that they should just wear what they usually wear when they're
Suit
playing
and
football?
tie.
No, well, they have to use something they can find
because that'd be fatal.
in the football. So they could use shin pads maybe, but
Oh,
that
okay.
wouldn't make much difference.
And puts shin pads on your chest for the impact.
Well, Fergie will just wait until the guy comes on the horse and then just kick a boot at him and knock him off, won't he?
If the guy on the horse was David Beckham, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, he's got- oh no, he hasn't.
Now I kind of thought that in this day and age, there's some, animal rights would say it's a bit harsh on the horses. So if you take the horses out, you can have motorcycle jousting, you can have jetpack jousting. The possibilities are endless with
Tour de
this.
France jousting.
Tour de France jousting,
Because you have
of
to
course,
hold the bike and the joust.
which is requires a lot of skill.
But replace the horses with the animal rights people, right? So you are piggyback
like going around the
jousting.
politics coin.
Yes, piggyback jousting, but on animal rights activists. So really, I won't be aiming for you when we're jousting. I'll be trying to poke the old little animal rights person in the face.
Well, why don't you just have no jousters? No, you just have two people with lances just charging at each other.
Greenpeace, you could use.
You could potentially, you know,
You could solve a lot
cut out the
of
horse.
problems.
You know, like on television, they have. You could turn it into a Hunger Games type thing. So, like on television, they have the postcode lottery, right, which is optional. Well, you can have the jousting lottery, which is not optional.
Oh yeah, if you get drawn out of that.
Brilliant. That is brilliant.
And how many people's in the UK want?
Oh, you could get Jamie
So you
Corbyn
get
versus
drawn
Theresa
out of
May.
a hat, and it's like, right,
You could have-
you're jousting this week, and you get to if you win, you
live.
win the lottery.
Instead of the national lottery.
Instead of a
Because that's
national
boring, isn't it? It's like, oh, number 5, number 23.
So they draw out two numbers. It's like these people are jousting. Whoever wins the joust wins the lottery. People would tune in to that on a
You
Saturday
could buy a
night.
ticket. Actually, you could make it not. You could make it optional. And also, if you've watched the National Lottery program on television, it's pretty shit. It's just,
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
boring.
of course it is.
Yeah, that would heighten up. So
I
yeah,
know.
You could solve a lot of big debate. Like North Korea is a debate at the moment which is kicking on.
Yeah,
you
it
could
is, yeah.
just have Donald Trump on a human rights activist, and you could have
Wait. All the human rights.
What?
So the human right activist
Donald Trump
is the horse.
why not just have them why not just have it as normal jousting with a horse like Kim Jong Un
Yeah, no, it would be like
and
that.
Donald Trump on horses.
Yeah.
Now people tune in.
that would sort
that
out
would-
that conflict. You'd either
yeah.
see Kim Jong Un just get smashed, or Trump's head just pop, which would be even funnier. But you've got two knobheads there, well, no one really likes.
But the thing with that now is you technically have like 4 sides because USA hate North Korea and USA have also had a go at South Korea and Russia's just like knocking about like actually playing,
So you'd have to do a
playing a
four-way
peacemaker
joust.
in this process. You can have a 4-way joust.
Oh wow.
A bit four-way joust.
no,
It just gives you a massive
you'd have to
smash
do it-
in the middle,
You
wouldn't
have to
it?
do it like a cross though, so they'd all meet in the middle.
Yeah, but I mean that's just a pile up of horses. I mean he's going to
So
be
no
carnage.
horses then, and the animal rights people are happy.
No, we'd have to use the animal rights people.
The actual animal rights people as actual horses.
Yes. Piggyback. No, piggybacking them.
No, they're never gonna. No.
To be honest, though, they'd probably be alright. Actually, I can imagine them surviving, and because the other guys get battered,
Yeah.
unless the joust is off course, like they aim for the animal rights person.
Well, who don't like animal rights activists like?
People who were bad animals.
Yeah, people who hurt animals.
Right, so
Cruel side.
Donald Trump could be riding his humanoided.
Humanoid. What the hell is that?
Right, he could be getting a piggyback off his animal rights activist, right? Kim Jong-un is getting a piggyback of someone who doesn't really like animals, so you give them two then a joust, right? So then it's like piggyback jousting but with an extra joust in there.
This is the craziest thing I've ever.
Just get loads of jousts going on.
You could have anything like the G8 summit.
Yeah, it'll sort everything
if,
out.
If they have a debate over to decide what to decide, just forget
Yeah,
the
but
debate.
then it'll get
Let's
out.
have a joust, and if I win, we do my thing.
Yeah. Well, basically, the rules of jousting are that you get 1 point if you strike him on the chest, 2 points if you knock the helmet off, 3 points if you dethrone them off the horse or kill them. those are the
You actually get 3 points for
You actually
killing.
get
3 points for killing him.
Yeah, because that's effectively dethroning. That's effectively. Yeah,
So when it used to happen,
and then
all those years ago.
yeah, that was the system. And if you get, it's the first to 3 points. So
First to 3 points.
yeah, basically. So you had as many jousts as it took to.
1 point for knocking the helmet off.
No, 1 point for hitting the chest, 2 points for knocking the helmet off, 3 points for hitting them off their horse or killing
So
them.
if you hit them in the chest 3 times, then
you win. You won. And you win their horse. So you get to.
And if they're
get
dead.
And they're dead. Hey, that's it. That's
What if they both die at the same time?
That's
Maybe
it's,
you pass it on to family
it's a
members.
draw, and the horse, he gets passed down to
Sudden
the
death.
relatives. Yeah. So that's how it works.
Interesting.
So I mean, that's my thought is to bring that back. So
It would be popular though.
I think it would be popular.
I mean,
I do think it would be popular.
technically it's absolutely brutal and against.
Oh, it is completely brutal.
against many.
You could,
Right, and in the modern day, it's seriously
But
brutal.
if you put it out to a vote, there'd be a fair shout of them winning.
You don't have like 8 months of a fucking leader debate about it. You just have a jousting competition. Whoever wins is
May
Prime
against
Minister.
Corbyn in a joust,
They
people,
would get battered though. By
Oh yes,
I mean,
I would love that.
but I think people would know she would get battered, so people would actually vote for her to be in a joust.
But would her entrance, because she'd have to do an entrance, would her entrance of just be her walking through a wheat field?
Yeah, probably.
What like a wrestling entrance?
Yeah, like wrestling entrance.
I have to confess, when me and my friends sort of used to run through the fields of wheat, the farmers weren't too pleased about that.
Ooh, you're hard.
Yeah.
Oh, genius. No, that's a good shout actually. Yeah.
So, Pickles, what is your suggestion for sports or enhancements? Or
Well, my suggestion is, I've been going on about it for years because it should happen. They have 100 metres in the Olympics and whatever else they are, which is good. It's like the best event to watch in the athletics. So what if they... I don't know the speed difference between a cheetah and Usain Bolt.
the cheetah is considerably faster.
I know it's faster, but so you have to give him a chance, right?
Yeah.
So you can't have Usain Bolt and the cheetah next to each other. You can't have that. So you got to let the guys start running.
Yeah.
I don't know how far they can get, 50 metres, and then release the cheetahs.
But I think I think it's definitely exciting. The question I have is, once they go past the finish line, how do you stop the cheaters?
Well, originally I didn't think of this, but then I thought, okay, you're
because they're still going to get done.
So you're going to have, like in films, I think it happens in Panic Room. When the door closes and she goes.
Yeah.
So you have to have a timed door that closes.
Right.
And it gets to a certain level, and they have to kind of, when they dip to the line, they have to dip through the door.
Yeah.
So then they go inside the door, and then the cheater's outside.
And then the second the last man crosses the line, the thing goes, and it stops the cheaters. Because I think the cheaters would still be nimble enough to get under quick enough.
Well, you have to be fast enough.
What about if the cheater wins the race? He's through the door first, isn't he?
Well,
actually, no, that could be pretty good about the closing door, because you've got, like, when Usain Bolt won his gold medal, he's celebrating before he even crossed the line. So if this door's coming down and he's all arrogant running around, then he's celebrating, he might just bang his head on the door.
If a cheater wins the race, does Kenya or whatever get a gold medal?
They could enter a cheater in it. You could have the closing door, or you could have just a normal door like this door.
Yeah.
Because if you have 8 people, the cheater's going to go for the lowest one anyway.
Yeah.
So you're going to get time to open the door while the cheater is mauling the guy from like England, Italy or something. You're going to get time to open the door and get inside the door anyway. So you'll be alright.
Absolutely brutal.
But it would definitely make it. And then you could have like a guy with like some plasters on standby in case.
Plasters, I think they're more than a bloody plaster for a cheater.
And then if the cheater looks at the 50,000 people watching and thinks that's a more fun, tempting meal, you have to have a guy with a tranquilizer on standby.
Oh yeah.
Or not. You could when you sell tickets, you could say there is a danger you might get killed.
Right. Would you have this sport in Knobhead's ground? Would you just convert the Bernabeu to this cheater athletic thing? So you get all the Real Madrid Knobhead fans in, and then you won't care about the guy with the tranquilizer gun, because the cheater is getting rid of like 80,000 fucking poorly mental people.
Could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen. I think
it's a better idea than have it in. Yeah, and like, you won't lose sleep over it.
It's true, you won't lose sleep.
No, my conscience will be quite clean.
Having the cheater ring in the Bernabeu.
I came up with one, basically, water skiing.
Yeah.
My idea was, basically, what you do, is it when you do running, walking, cycling, what's it, triathlon? Yeah, it's basically a triathlon, but on a roller coaster. So what you do is you've got these special, it's individuals. You take the roller coasters off the roller coaster ride, and you give all your athletes special skates that are attached to the track. So they have to, on the first uphill, they have to run up it, and then they have to strap these skates to the track, and then they basically have to tie themselves in and go around the roller coaster. And it's a time trial thing. You give them 3 rockets, so if they can't quite make it up a hill, they can set a rocket off and it helps them over the hill. But basically, they've got to, like a downhill skier, get in position and ride a roller coaster.
Wait, so their 2 feet are attached to the track?
Yeah.
That's actually a good suggestion.
What about if it's like the dangly upside down roller coasters though?
If you do rockets, like.
Yeah, the rocket. So if you so they have to do a full loop. They have to loop the loop it. If it's a loop the loop in the thing, you've just got to do it. So they've got to literally crouch down and make themselves aerodynamic enough to get round the track. And
you don't have to do it time though. You could have, the roller coasters run side by side.
Well, yeah, like Grand National.
No.
Race.
Yeah, you could race.
No, which was it? The Smiler where they have the two.
Oh, the Smiler's not got 2 on this.
No, you've got 2 roller coasters identical next to each other.
Oh yeah.
And then you just like have the 2 people. So it's like a sprint.
No, you could do it that way as well. Yeah. It's just I thought it's basically like the end of the Wrong Trousers on Wallace and Gromit, where he's like on 1 foot and he's on the little. It's basically like that on a real roller coaster.
That's the best actual suggestion we've had, because it could actually happen.
Yeah, a brand new sport. I mean, it's risky as hell, because if you're on the big one,
I don't think it is though. Because if you're attached to the roller coaster, it's very, very tight.
Yeah. So then, literally, you're just putting your feet in. It's like ski boots. You're locked in, so your feet are locked onto the track. You basically just got to dog it. If you're on the big one, you've got to run up to the top, strap yourself on, and basically go Geronimo and absolutely floor it down.
That'd be genius. Imagine seeing guys just go down.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
because that'd take balls. That really
What
does.
other one? What like Nemesis? Because I mean that's like all the track.
Well,
like,
Nemesis, you either do it the same thing but have it so that your feet aren't attached in, it's just your hands, so you just attach above your head. So you're hanging on above your head and you're flying around the track.
couldn't you be attached by your feet, be upside down the whole way?
You could be that. Oh yeah. You could do that.
Which is the one where you go up to the top and then you like pivot on the edge and then you just drop down.
Oh, Oblivion. Yeah, that'd be a dog.
Now you get to the top, right, and you strap yourself in.
Because you've just
you've
got to
gone
go.
And you've gone over the top, but you don't go straight. You are just like facing down, like, and you can count, and it's on like different timers for different people. So you like, so you're waiting there for you just to go, and then
That's
you're like,
just cruel,
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And then you sort of like get a little bit comfortable with it. Then next thing, your fucking heart is gone flying out your arse because you've just gone fucking.
They would
flying down.
also need to make sure the hole at the bottom is big enough, because if they have Peter Crouch on it, his head could get battered on the ground going in the hole.
It's his own fault being too tall.
So you need to make the hole big enough for that. But that's a good one.
Yeah. So you could do it, and you could have to wait like 5 seconds for your drop. Chris could do it, and he could be there waiting a minute and a half for his. It's on a different sort of like timer.
But that's not sport, really, is it?
Well, it's just entertainment.
That's like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
In fact, that could be a roller coaster ride.
That bit of a
Although they would need a way to make you, because obviously your feet are strapped in,
Yeah.
and while you're leaning over the edge, they need to find a way for you to keep your body straight, or you just keep it straight through strength.
Yeah, you've got to just keep, because otherwise you'd just be flopping up.
Imagine the whiplash injury you get off. Like you're flopping, the next thing you set off and you go.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be bad.
Yeah, you
That'd be bad news.
You either need to have the strength to hold yourself
That
up
might be
going
curtains,
down.
actually. That might be.
No, you'd be sat. No, it'd be like a chair. You'd have like a chair back, what's strapped to you. So you've got like an exo suit on, and then you can't flop about. You are actually strapped onto it, so you are rigid.
Yeah, but that was my thought, mate. Basically,
Or like a surfboard that you just lie on it.
he's just doing basically time trials on a roller coaster. Single man going on it with skates. I mean, that would be a decent sport, a brand new sport.
You could technically
extreme sport.
have a ride like this, but instead of an actual cart,
Yeah,
or whatever they call it,
yeah.
you have to climb your way around the roller coaster.
What was your idea about computer games?
Computer gaming, right?
Wait,
Seeing as it is, this is actually could potentially be a thing in the future. Is computer gaming? Because I was watching a thing on Sky, the football channel, when there's no football on. They got a FIFA 17 World Tournament for the Xbox and PlayStation, and I was watching it, and for 5 minutes, and I was thinking, this is a bit shit. It needs a bit of improvements as this. So I thought, if you put like crocodile, like not like sticky electrodes on the guy's nipples or the woman, right? Just put these electrodes on him somewhere. Not to be sexist, no. And if you concede, you get electrocuted.
Okay.
If you are then scared of conceding a goal and start passing it about, playing a bit on ultra defense, park the bus, you get zapped because that's negative.
Parking the bus? No.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
Parking the bus is that's
a
actual tactic.
legitimate tactic in football.
No, not in this sport. It isn't. Right? If you have the ball for say. You'll have your normal countdown.
Yeah.
You've got your normal clock, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got a separate countdown timer, so when you're next going to get zapped if you have not crossed into the opponent's half. But if you cross it to go into it, to like when your time is about to be zapped, and then go back into it, you get then zapped for defeating the purpose of the timer. So there can just be a guy in a control room. If you're mates with him, he might not zap you if you score. But no, if you concede, which you'll have to because it'll be part of the rules. But there could be someone who's just like on a buzzer, and he is like the judge. If you are playing well, you get less zapped. But if you're playing a bit shocking,
how strong is the zap? Like just like a
enough to make you swear.
Well, what? So like
because you have to carry on playing, right?
Yeah, it would be enough to go. You fucking.
Right. Okay. Right.
But then you could add that to like Call of Duty. Every time you get shot, you get zapped.
Right.
So you could get zapped about 8 times in a row because you've been killed, so then you've been zapped. You've sworn, dropped your pad. You've just been spawned back in because you won't press X to spawn back in. The guy in the room will spawn you back in.
Right, okay.
The judge will. Then you'll get shot again, and you can zap him again.
Wow.
You could make it into. You could make it very simple, and just if you concede a goal, you get a punch off a guy sitting next to you. And if it's like 4-4, both guys are like, and especially if it's like
but this is it. If it's like
McGregor or whatever next to you or Mayweather, you're gonna be seriously dogging it out in the 90th minute.
Yeah, but it's like the thing. Penalty, of course, the penalty shootout. Penalty shootout would be the best one. If you score, the other opponent gets zapped for not saving it, and he gets another zap for conceding. But if you shoot, miss, you get a zap for missing. The other guy doesn't. But if you put it to the left-hand corner and put it past the post, you get zapped for missing. And if he dives the opposite way, he gets zapped for diving the wrong way.
That's a bit harsh.
Jesus, that's.
It's just basically full of zaps. There's no point in it for anymore.
Yeah.
You might as well sit 2 guys in a room and just go
zapping each other. One sport that we haven't mentioned, which could be a sport, is the Hugh Grant game. Could that be a sport? Yeah. Could you have a boxing ring where Hugh Grant's there and he's always there, and then you just get people to see who can smash him, and basically say, will Hugh win this fight?
Yeah, but he would need time to recover.
He wouldn't need time to recover, but he'd be regularly in there.
But the people don't know what the Hugh Grant
people don't know.
Except Kieran, he'll know what it is.
Introduce the Hugh Grant game.
The Hugh Grant game is basically just to think of somebody in the world who cannot beat up Hugh Grant, who is medically, okay.
Yeah, who Hugh Grant would beat in a fight.
So you can't have Stephen Hawkins?
No.
Dale Winton.
Well, that's one example we thought, but he has height on his side, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What about...
Because if
Katie Hopkins...
She would.
I think she's quite hard, actually.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But see, like the kind of level you're looking at is if Theresa May had a fight against him, that would be a good fight. And she's like,
that would be a good fight.
My dog could beat up Theresa May, so that shows you the kind of.
We can't have Boris Johnson versus him because he headbutted somebody.
No, he
headbutted somebody in the balls in an England-Germany charity match, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he would win that one.
So somebody who could not.
Dale Platt.
But that's not a real. We don't know what she's real like.
Just the actor. Well, the actress. If she's not too much different to the way she is on the soap, which I don't think she is because she's a terrible actress, so she's probably just playing herself. So so if she's like that, then I think Hugh Grant might have a chance there. He might have a chance.
Who also is a bit of a pussy in films.
Frodo.
So I was thinking Frodo, but he grew some balls at the end though, didn't he?
Did he? No, he didn't. If it wasn't for Sam, that film would have been 9 wasted hours if it wasn't for Sam.
No, that's true.
Oh man, it's a tough one.
Matt Damon at the end of Saving Private Ryan, where they're all on the bridge shooting him, and he's there huddled up, crying his eyes out.
Yeah, but that situation was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean,
it's better than being Prime Minister on Love Actually. It's probably more difficult than that.
Martine McCutcheon, the girlfriend of Hugh Grant in Love Actually.
She'd do him.
She would
hammer her hell out.
What about the little lad?
He'd have him.
Yeah.
He would. He's a drummer.
He's a drummer. Liam Neeson's son, isn't he? He'll just go.
No, yeah, and you got Liam Neeson. He definitely
specific set of skills.
What about C-3PO?
Doesn't he actually have people in that film? Doesn't he actually do them?
Well, he's a robot, so.
Alright then, Anthony Daniels then.
Who?
The person who plays C-3PO.
I don't know.
I actually think that might be a good shout.
Jar Jar Binks, sorry.
Oh, he's got that really long tongue though, hasn't he? So he'll just whip him with that in the eye. This is a hard game.
It is a tough
It's the best game in the world because there's no unanimous choice.
No.
And there's always somebody who disagrees with you.
Should we tweet this to Hugh Grant
Is there anybody?
and ask him if there's anyone that would do it? Because Hugh Grant will know. Hugh Grant would be able to judge himself.
I think we came quite close with Gail Platt, but you have to remember, if we're talking about the character, she survived death. She survived being pushed down the stairs.
Hugh Grant has to lose this fight, doesn't he? No, win.
Yeah, it's a fight that Hugh Grant would win, and it would get viewers. People would tune in. I mean,
it's just boxing. It's boxing.
It's boxing with Hugh Grant. Can you beat up Hugh? Can Hugh beat up so-and-so?
Yeah.
Can Hugh beat up Hugh?
And then for a little joke, you could whack Mayweather in there because it would be quite. Because then he would get taken.
Well,
but it'd be quite amusing to see how taken he got.
Taken.
Yeah, he could do better than Conor McGregor. Yeah, Hugh might one-bop him.
Can you imagine if the guy is actually a boxer and we don't realise?
He's done lots of fights and won.
He had one fight in the film. Nike knows about it.
What? Bridget Jones's Diary.
Bridget Jones's Diary, yeah, against Colin Firth. Colin Firth won both times.
2 times. Also.
Yeah, 2 times. Yeah, in the first one and in the sequel.
What about Gareth off The Office? As Gareth.
Jeez, yeah, that's a fair shout. That is a fair shout.
It's not a bad one, is it?
Well, he's coming. Hugh Grant is playing the villain in the next Paddington film. I think Paddington would have him.
Well, he will do in that film. You would suggest.
This is it. We might have actually, if he's playing a villain, he might actually have to beat somebody up. So then, there is proof that Hugh Grant can actually destroy somebody.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So in a few months' time, we might know the answer. Then. Unless Paddington does him in, and then he's curtains for Hugh Grant's career.
If he gets his marmalade sandwiches and just goes
on his face,
slaps him and goes, "I've just got myself a marmalade and Hugh Grant sandwich."
Maybe we need to go and see this.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I think it's important that everybody knows that these sports aren't actually.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of.
It's just a bit of banter, really. We all know that there is absolutely no way in hell that these sports are going to get.
The video game one might.
Yeah, the video game one might, and the celebrities boxing, if you frame it as that, might happen. So Hugh Grant might actually do boxing one day, in 5 years on television.
Roller coaster, time trials.
Tour de France of Death.
I think that's probably too far.
We might be. But if you have any suggestions for sports that we've missed, put in comments, let us know, and we'll, as always, we'll leave the last word with Richard Keys. So until next time, see you later, everyone.
You go around there any night and found Redknapp hanging out the back of it.